He was standing in the kitchen cooking breakfast when Grace walked downstairs with a sheet of paper in her hand. She was 9 years old, still wearing her pajamas, and her towel from sleep. Her face carried that cautious look children get when they are trying to decide whether something is bad news before passing it along. "Mom," she said softly, "he found this on the counter." He took the paper from her. It was my mother's handwriting, doesn't it? Controlled loops uno had recognized my entire life. The message was brief. "Jessica, we've decided it's time for you and Grace to find your own place. Please be moved out by the time we return from Bella S on the 28-17. We'll discuss details when we're back. Mom and Dad." He read it twice, then a third time. Grace studied my face carefully. "What does it mean?" she asked. He glanced at the date on the wall calendar. December 22 ND. My parents had left that morning to spend Christmas week with my sister Bella. They would return on the 28-17. 6 days. They wanted Stati Uniti gone in 6 days during Christmas week. "It means we need to find a new place to live," he said, keeping my voice steady and calm, the way you do when your child is watching and you cannot let them see how hard you have just been it. Grace's eyes widened. "Why?" "I don't know yet," he answered. "But we'll figure it out. Let me explain how we got here. He had been living with my parents for 8 months. Not because uno wanted to, but because uno had lost my job and could not afford rent. They had offered their basement apartment temporarily until uno could get back on my feet. The basement was small but separate, its own entrance, 1 bedroom, a bathroom, and a kitchenette. Grace and he made it work. He paid them $600 a month. It was not much, but it was what he could manage while job hunting and doing freelance work. My parents had never seemed bothered by their renaming, at least not until Bella re-entered the picture. Bella was my older sister, the successful one. She had married well, moved 3 states away, and sent Christmas cards featuring professional photos and cheerful updates about her perfect life. She had 2 children, a large house, a husband who earned good money, and this year she had decided she wanted to host my parents for Christmas, a full week in her beautiful home with her beautiful family. Grace and they were not invited. My mother had mentioned it casually 2 weeks earlier. "Oh, Bella really wants Stati Uniti to come and stay for Christmas. It'll be so nice to spend time with her and the kids. You understand?" He had said yes, because what else could uno say? He told Grace we would have a quiet Christmas, just the 2 of Stati Uniti. We would make it special. He did not know that while they were gone, they expected Stati Uniti to disappear. He looked at the note again. "We'll discuss details when we're back. Not we'll help you find a place. Not we'll give you more time. Just be gone." Grace was still standing there. "Are we in trouble?" she asked. "No, sweetheart," he said. "We're not in trouble." "Then why do we have to leave?" He did not have a good answer. So he said the only thing uno could think of. Sometimes grown up make decisions that only make sense to them. This is one of those times. That day, he made calls, searched listings, and ran numbers. With my freelance income, he could maybe afford $900 a month, maybe. The cheapest apartment uno found was $1,100, and it would not be available until January 15-17. He called my parents, both of them. Neither answered. He left calm, polite voicemails. "I got your note. Can we talk about this? I need more time. Please call me back." They did not. On Christmas Eve, Grace and he were alone in the basement apartment. He put up a small tree, wrapped the few presents uno could afford, and tried to make everything feel festive. Grace helped me bake cookies. We watched movies. She eventually fell asleep on the couch beside me. He looked at her sleeping face and felt something harden in my chest. Not anger. Something colder. Clarity. My parents had left a note during Christmas week telling their daughter and granddaughter to move out while they were celebrating at my sister's house. I pulled out my phone and opened my bank app. I had been paying my parents $100 a month automatically on the first of each month. I cancelled the automatic payment. Then I texted my mother. I got your note. I'll be out by the 28/17. I've also cancelled the rent payments effective immediately. You will get nothing for December. Consider it compensation for the 6 days notice. I did not expect a response. I did not receive one. Over the next 4 days, I worked relentlessly. I called in every favor unoed, reached out to former co-workers, posted desperate messages on social media, and asked friends about short-term rentals. Anything. On the 26/17, a friend of a friend contacted me. She had a small house for rent. The previous tenant had just moved out. It needed some work, but it was livable. $800 a month. Available immediately. I went to see it that afternoon. It was small and needed paint. The kitchen was outdated. But it had 2 bedrooms, a backyard, and a door that locked. It was ours. I signed the lease that night. On the 27/17, Grace and I packed everything we owned into my car and a borrowed truck. We moved out of my parents' basement, cleaned it thoroughly, left the keys on the counter, and left a note of my own. We're out as requested. Don't contact Stati Uniti. My parents returned on the 28/17. They called that evening. My mother's voice sounded tight and surprised. Jessica, we're back. Where are you? We moved out, I said. Like you asked. But we needed to talk first, my mother said. About what? I asked. About the arrangement, about how this was going to work. You left me a note telling me to be out by the time you got back, he replied. I've out. What else is there to discuss? You didn't give Stati Uniti December's rent, my mother said. You gave me 6 days notice during Christmas week, he answered. You're lucky you got November's rent. I don't owe you anything. That's not how this works, my mother snapped, her voice rising. You can't just decide not to pay. I can when you evict me with 6 days notice while you're at Bella's house for Christmas, he said. Silence. We weren't evicting you, she finally said. We were asking you to find your own place. With 6 days notice, he repeated. At Christmas. We thought you needed motivation, my mother said. Motivation for what? He asked. You were getting too comfortable, she replied. We wanted you to focus on getting back on your feet. I closed my eyes. I was rebuilding my life. I paid your rent, cared for Grace, and searched for a full-time position. Which part of that suggested Uno wasn't committed? You said Uno depended on you too heavily. He was staying in your basement and paying rent. He reminded you. That is energy dependence, that is being a tenant. But you never treated me like one. You treated me like a problem you wanted removed. That is energy fair. My mother replied. What is energy fair is leaving a note for your daughter and granddaughter during the Christmas week telling them to move out while you celebrate with Bella's family. She fell silent briefly, then added. Bella believed it would help you become more independent. And there it was, Bella. She doesn't even live in this state. Why does she get to decide whether Uno stay in your basement? He asked. She is worried about you, my mother answered. She thinks you aren't pushing yourself hard enough. Bella has never once asked how I'm doing. Not a single time since Uno moved in with you, yet she has opinions about my entire life. She is your sister, my mother insisted. She cares. If she truly cared, she would have called me, he said. Instead, she persuaded you to throw me out at Christmas. We did not throw you out, my mother argued. Yes, he replied. You did. He ended the call. The following day, my father phoned. His tone was softer, more measured. Jessica, your mother is hurt. This wasn't meant to unfold like this. How exactly was it meant to unfold? He asked. We assumed you would come talk to Stati Uniti, he said. We thought we would sit down together and figure out a plan. You left a note, he reminded him. While you were gone. You didn't ask me to come talk. You instructed me to be out. He exhaled heavily. The note was badly phrased. It was perfectly clear, he answered. You wanted me gone by the 28-17. I'm gone. Where are you staying? He asked. He found somewhere, he said. Can we see Grace? No. He grew quiet. Jessica, don't take your anger at the Stati Uniti out on Grace. I'm not taking anything out on her. I'm protecting her. From what? From the message you just sent her, that her grandparents' love comes with conditions. That she has a welcome only when it suits you. That Christmas with Bella as a family matters more than Christmas with her. That wasn't our intention, he said. But it's what you did, he replied. 3 weeks passed with no contact. Then my mother sent a text. We'd like to see Grace. Maybe take her out for ice cream. He didn't respond. She texted again. Jessica, please. She has our granddaughter. She has my daughter, he answered, and you made it clear she wasn't your priority. When you chose Christmas with Bella over Stati Uniti, you forfeited the right to return simply because you miss her. My mother called. He let it ring. She left a voicemail, long, defensive, and halfway through it shifted into blame. He deleted it before it finished. Grace asked about them once. Why don't we see Grandma and Grandpa anymore? Because they hurt Stati Uniti, he said. And I'm making sure it doesn't happen again. But he missed them. You know, sometimes people we love make choices that aren't safe for Stati Uniti. My job is to keep you safe, even from them. She nodded slowly. Okay. 7 months have passed. We're still in the small house. He secured a full-time job in February. We're managing well. Grace has her own bedroom, a backyard, and friends nearby. She is happy. My parents send cards occasionally, birthdays, Easter, nothing personal, just generic store-bought sentiments. He tucked them into a drawer. Grace no longer asks about them. Last month, my mother called from an unfamiliar number. He answered before realizing it was her. Jessica. What do you want? He asked. He want to apologize. For what, exactly? For the note. For the timing. For not handling it better. Not for asking the Stati Uniti to leave. We were trying to encourage your independence. You were trying to remove Stati Uniti, so Bella would stop complaining, he said. That is not. Yes, it is, he cut in. Until you can admit that, there is nothing left to discuss. He ended the call. Grace walked into the room. Was that Grandma? Yes. What did she want? To apologize. Sort of. Grace considered that. Do you think she is really sorry? I think she is sorry didn't it turn out the way she expected, he said. But I don't believe she regrets what she did. Grace nodded. Then we don't need to see her. Right, he said. She returned to her homework. He remained there for a moment, thinking about the note, about Christmas week, about 6 days notice, about Bella's influence, about the decision my parents made. Then he thought about our small house with its backyard and its door that locks. About Grace's bedroom with the posters she chose herself. About the steady job that pays enough. About the life we created on our own. And he realized something. He didn't miss them, not the way Uno thought Uno would. So tell me, did Uno go too far by cutting them off, or did Uno simply do what was necessary? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Echoing Art Tales for more. I'll see you in the next one.